sad news for you, though. I've lost my dog recently.
Aww.
Thanks for the sympathy. I went out looking for him. I couldn't find him anywhere. My dad said to me, "You need to get back out there and you need to look harder." So I went out, got myself a couple of tattoos and a Stone Island jacket. We've had a couple of dodgy dealings around my way recently. Only last week there was a car salesman and he got arrested for selling drugs. Amazing, isn't it, when you think you know someone? I never knew he sold cars.
Oh, I came across that kid on Pause. Jesus. I stumbled across that kid on Instagram yesterday and thought he's pretty damn funny.
That's funny. Yeah, all ones are best, aren't they?
Love the Stone Island one. Good morning, people. Welcome back to Good Morning Manchester. Actually, do you know what? As I'm with my good friend Pulpy, I can change this to... Where the fuck is it? There it is.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. There we go. Well, how are you? How are you? How are you?
All right, mate. Yeah, fresh from an holiday. Pardon?
Legs recovered from the walking?
No. No, mate. For those that want to know, I went out for a mad walk and took a wrong turn and ended up 5 miles on a moors.
Lovely. It's one of those ones where once you get, if you take the wrong turn in, all of a sudden, oh shit.
Yeah, I thought I'd only do an hour. I thought I'd go for a walk around an hour around a little reservoir near me. Ended up on the hills where I can see where I live in Manchester from both sides. I was like, what am I doing up here? Climbing over farmers' walls with cattle and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is a bit much.
Well, was it raining?
No, it hasn't. It was all right, to be fair. It was windy, but it was fun. No, you got to live, man. You got to go out and explore, haven't you? Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm just reading the comments. So, Daps, Martin has had enough of the disrespect. We need to help him out. He lost it last night on Hamza's show, and I felt so bad for him, constantly disrespected. He's such a good fan. I don't know. I haven't watched it, bro, so I can't comment on it. Do you know what? I'll say what I always say about Martin. I find that Martin is misunderstood by a lot of people that watch shows. Martin is one of those people that has is lucky enough to get some inside information. And so he just presents facts and people take his facts as it being. So he will say something like, Gundogan's not going to be sold. Now, if he's saying that, that is because he's heard something and it's looking like Gundogan isn't going to be sold. And people straight away jump on him saying, Martin is saying, well, Martin's saying, I'm not selling Gundogan and I don't want Gundogan to go. What Martin is actually doing is saying, I'm just letting you all know that it's very unlikely that Gundogan is going to be sold. Now, that doesn't mean that that's what he wants at all, right?
Is the bringer of bad news to some people and they don't like it, and they just people online hide behind fake accounts and names and stuff and just say what they want and just get away with it. It's one of them. You just I can understand from Martin's point of view how it takes his toll when he's just constantly getting drilled with it, but you know, eventually he'll walk away and you'll just be another City content creator that has got information that just won't reveal it anymore. There's plenty of them before. It's one of them.
Yeah, exactly that. And Torres saying he's 35 for fuck's sake. Look, it's a very simple way of looking at things. Everyone is different, and everyone has there's people a lot younger than me that are a lot more Teflon than me, right? Either way, it doesn't mean because he's 35 you can be disrespectful to him, right? Because by now, people, we all know that Martin is somebody that is very passionate, wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's a kind, nice person. So therefore, it doesn't mean, you know what, we can take advantage of that at all. And Pulp is spot on. Martin is bringing you information. Martin is a content creator that is actually bringing you information and facts. If you keep carrying on disrespecting him, you ain't going to get those facts no more. It's simple as that. You'll now just be getting complete bullshit rumours.
And if you don't like it, then there's two things: you don't watch, or you just have to accept that what somebody's saying is going to have to be the truth. You know, do I want to sit here and say and listen to Martin say, you know what, they're actually going to keep him at City? From a City fan's point of view, no, I don't. I prefer our club without Gundogan, but it's not Martin's fault. It's not anyone else's fault, and that's just the life you've got to live.
Sorry, I think
deal with it.
I've just also Taurus. I just took your comment wrong. I thought you were talking about Martin. You're talking about Gundogan. Sorry, my bad. Look,
but even then at 35, right? Look, it's just the age is a thing, man. There's been players out there that have done What's Thomas Muller when he left Bayern, 30 on mid 30s. You know, didn't Iniesta play till he was in 38? Kevin De Bruyne was 35. Ronaldo's still going at 41. Look, age is just an easy cop out for somebody to use when they don't think they're good enough. If Gundogan was born, he weren't good enough. You'd say that, but because his age is the easiest thing to say he's not good enough. I saw a thing yesterday and it pissed me off about somebody had said Reinders has turned 27. Why we're signing players this age? I'm like, you're taking the piss.
Mate, look, the whole thing is, if you look at so Gundogan is now 35, yeah? Right?
We had 10 years out of him, his best.
So Gundogan captained Manchester City to a treble, including the goal against
Villa.
Including the goal against United in the FA Cup final, right? When he was 33? Yeah. Right? So Gundogan was 33 years old when he captained Manchester City to a treble, scoring that goal against Man United and all the other goals he scored that season, right? And no one ever said, hold on a minute, Gundogan's 33 here, right? Why are we doing Bernardo Silva's 30 years old? It's mental. Yeah. It's all of a sudden, it's like the Unks thing. Look, I get it. By the way, and let me be clear, I'm still not here saying I want Gundogan to start games, right? But when we're looking at players like Bernardo Silva, last season it became a whole thing of the Unks thing, and now it's just like, right, mention someone's age and that's it. Squash. Bernardo Silva, as far as pace-wise, he's lost some pace, yeah? But
he never had any pace. He never had any pace. It's not his game. Yeah.
But as far as putting the miles in, Bernardo last season was still putting the miles in, which is what he's always done, right? The whole thing is, you don't play him as a right winger, you play him as an 8, right? And that's what and do you know the other thing that I saw someone comment the other day, right? Someone said Pep still relies on the people on his favourites and not the ones that get the job done. And I actually thought back to the back end of last season, February through till May. Right? The players that got the job done were Kovacic, Bernardo Silva. Yeah. Yes, Marmoush came in and there were others. But the players that actually did get the job done were the old guard.
Why do the favourites have to be? It's like they've earned the right to be the favourites because they've done it for Pep for 10 years, 9 years, 8 years. They've done that. Pep trusts them. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean that it's wrong. Well, we all would want this new guy to come in at the ground running and think, oh, man, we've got this new player for the next 10 years. But football doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You need experienced players in every part of your team.
Yeah.
If you clicked your fingers tomorrow and you got rid of everybody over the age of 30, would we win the league with that team?
You have to have balance.
If you had no players over the age of 29 and 364 days, you wouldn't win the league. You'd be no way near.
No. You have to have balance. You have to have balance.
We've always had that good balance since we've started winning the league in 2011 or 12, whatever. We've always had that balance of mature players with young players who are hungry. Yeah. That's never going to change. And the people going all this unk stuff and this, that, and the other. Look, in an ideal world, we don't have Gundogan, but Kovacic is still going to be there potentially. Bernardo Silva's 30. John Stones is 32. You know, these players are going to be there. They just are going to be there because you need them in your squad. You need these experienced players. I saw a clip today from Jacob Wright talking at in Norwich.
Right.
He said his words were, Rodri is one of the silkiest players that does the basics right you've ever seen. And he says players like Kovacic and Bernardo Silva are press resistant. You just can't get near them in training on a match day. He even basically goes on to say these are the sort of players you look up to. And we want to get rid of those players. Rodri next year, 30.
This is a great example. I'm sorry, but rewatch the last 6 games from last season. You'll see they didn't do anything. We were just lucky to get UCL. I'm sorry, but there's little things that you spoke of there that are great examples. Someone will say a player didn't do anything, but if we're 1-0 up or 2-1 up or 2-0 up and a player keeps hold of the ball, they're doing something. If you mean he didn't take a load of players and put it top
on the top corner, then,
I get it. But look, let's not. I don't want to get carried away. I still want to be clear. I don't want to see Gundogan starting next season. Right? I don't want. I'd like Kovacic, Bernardo. I'm here for that. I think Kovacic and Bernardo alongside Rodri, Reinders. Do you know what the whole thing is? You have to have a squad to win the league, right? And that's where we are at the moment. We've got, if you look at our midfield, we've probably got a pretty well balanced age.
We're protecting against what we suffered with last year, and that's having backup. And would you rather have, if you have the choice of a Gundogan / Kovacic backup or a Nico O'Reilly as a backup in midfield? I'm sorry, but as much as I want Nico to be a success, I'm going to take someone with experienced legs who's been there, done it, and won everything in the game. Yeah. I'd rather have that as a backup than someone experienced young kid who might be a good backup. I know what I'm getting from the others.
Yeah. Right. So let's get into the news that we've got. There's one that I've just had broke to me. People, again, when I say things, it's things I've heard. Take it with a pinch of salt. I'll give you context to it. So this bit of information that I'm about to say has come from the same person that told me 2 weeks ago today that Livramento was at while James Trafford was away on some sort of training at the England camp. He got contacted by Manchester City and told that they want him. Now, at this point, by the way, it had not been broken anywhere on the news, anywhere on my phone, on news, anywhere, right? And I got told by somebody, look, it doesn't mean we're going to get him, but City have contacted James Trafford, told him they're interested, and James Trafford has gone very cold on Newcastle since the minute Manchester City came in for him. Poppy, I saw you the next day and told you that, right?
Yeah.
So that was 2 weeks ago tomorrow that I saw you. The same person has just said to me on the phone that Livramento went away with England under 21s and was not fussed about anything. I wasn't even thinking about anything but England under 21s and trying to win a tournament. He's got back, he's seen the City interest, and he's now also seen the Isak situation, and James Trafford has demanded a meeting with Eddie Howe. So he said, I need a meeting with you. I need to know what's going on. So that's all I know at this point. But Livramento has demanded a meeting with Eddie Howe, and he's not happy with the fact that Isak's being sold. And I kind of thought this would happen. I wouldn't even be surprised if there might be one or two other players that might do the same, you know.
It's going to be difficult for Newcastle. I feel a bit sorry for them because it's not their fault. They're just a product of the shit situation that we're in a league where the Red Cartel have run it for years. Yeah, we were lucky we got him. We were lucky we got him before the drawbridge was pulled up. The rest of them are suffering, and they always will.
Yeah.
I think it's doable. I think Liverpool doable.
Yeah, I think at this point
it'll be a crazy price.
Yeah,
but if you think about it, you get 10 years out of someone for 80 million, then you look back in 10 years' time, I think he's been as good as Walker would have been. That's unbelievable for us. But I don't think I think it comes from to get Liverpool done. It has to come from pressure from both sides, from us and from inside of Newcastle, and that is him. Yeah.
Do you know what? See this. This is what confuses me with Newcastle a little bit, right? That our whole thing we're going against not the 115, the other case, right? Where we're actually trying to fight for the good of Newcastle, the good of Villa, and the good of those clubs that maybe haven't got the income that we've got at the moment. Newcastle voted against us. And it is a bit like...
I don't ever read... Honestly, I don't read too much into that sort of stuff. They will have come together. It's not just one person inside. They'll have come together as a club and they know their internal programs and their finances and how they're going to go forward as a club. And at that point in time, maybe it was an idea to say, so let's not go with this. We know where we're going, and it doesn't fit with this, so we'll just vote against it. That's the way it is.
Could be that. Do you know the other thing that I often think, and I think this happened to... Remember the Super League, right? And City were the first to pull out of the Super League, right?
Yeah.
I feel like at that point, and I think the way City did things when we first kind of got money was we really, really tried to fucking play by the books and
yes, man.
Friends, Premier League friends.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
Not
man.
all
We'll do what we need. Well, whatever you want, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And it's only when and I think we did the same with UEFA. And again, it was only with UEFA when they said, "All right, we're taking you to court." City go, "All right, fair enough. We'll pull your pants down in public if you want, no problem."
Yeah.
And I think the same with the Premier League with the 115 thing. That's now why we are really going against the Premier League, because we're like, do you know what? We tried to play ball and we tried to stay friends and keep nice with you lot, but you lot have constantly pushed us away. So, all right, now we won't play nice. And I don't know if maybe Newcastle are doing the same thing at the moment. They're thinking, let's not make, we could side with City and 3 other teams, or at this point we could toe the line. But I do think that it's interesting with how will Newcastle deal with not just Isak, but also with City and Livramento. Is they could do it the Tevez way we did, which was we ain't selling him. He can go AWOL, right? We ain't selling him. He's got to come back and play for us, right? Because we don't have to. Or if Eddie, and I could see that would be a Mancini's a stubborn guy, stubborn Italian, go, no, we're not going to sell him. I could see Eddie Howe being a bit more, do you know what? If they don't want to be here.
What we do, if they don't want to play for us, then a deal can be done and we'll move you on as long as it's best for the club, then we'll do that. Yeah.
And the other thing is as well, someone, Pete Davey, who's from Newcastle Loaded Mag, he said to me he said on the show the other day that if they sell Isak for 150, that will mean, because of the way PSR works, they'll be able to spend about 600 million.
Yeah, it frees up a lot, doesn't it? And then if you do have to let Livramento go, that probably adds even more on. So
probably adds another
short term, immense pain in losing probably what is the best number 9 in the world right now.
Yeah,
for a massive amount of money. And then you'll see him at another club. It's like losing your girlfriend to somebody who's a bit better looking, and you have to walk in the same pub every weekend and see him. But eventually, if the bigger picture is, well, I can then invest that money and then slowly close the gap, then in 4 years' time, you'll forget about Isak because you've got your own new fancy toy sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, Isak's put in the transfer request. I don't know if he's gone AWOL. I saw a YouTuber put that as a title, so I'll take that with a pinch of salt. Shout out to William Dittmer with the super chat. Appreciate it a lot, bro. If we sold every player City fans on Twitter wanted, we would not have a squad left, manager or a board left. I'm honestly sick of it. I trust Pep, big up. Bro, I couldn't agree with you more. That our squad would be tiny and we'd have no manager. The board would be gone because the board's apparently useless. And do you know what? Right, so got a pal that I speak to on let's say pal. Yeah, he's a pal. Got a pal that I speak to on Instagram, right? And he's an older guy, round about my age, I think. Used to be a game going fan, lives down south now. And he's one that at times he'll message me like saying, Daps, we need to get, I mean, this was last summer he's saying, or last September, October, he's going, Daps, we need to get Musiala, Wirtz. And I'm like, I always say to him, Stu, you're playing FIFA, mate. Like, come on, you're older than this. What is going on? And the other day he messaged me saying, and this was literally 2 days ago. So once Trafford was done, he said, it looks like we're not getting Livramento, and we won't be getting the right back. This is an absolute fucking joke, right? And I said, mate, in the last 6 months, we've signed
6 players.
Hold on. Kuzanov, Hayes, Marmoush, Gonzalez, Echeverri,
Trafford, Naipan,
Aitnori, Cherky, Reinders. 10 players, right? And if you want to take Naipan and Echeverri out there because they're younger, take them out. We've signed 8 to 10 players, right? To say it's an absolute joke that we don't get a right back. And by the way, I do want a right back, but if we don't get a right back, then it's like, well, do you know what? We've done more business than any other guy.
We've never had a left back, and we've got a left back, and now everyone's crying out right back. It's like just.
But my whole thing is, I always used to say to to Chelsea fans, when Chelsea fans every season say, yeah, but we still need to get X, Y, it's like no team is stacked. No team has 2 players in every position. Even when that rumour went round, remember when people used to say City have got 2 players in every position? I would say, come and do a show with me and let's test that theory, right?
Yeah, we had players that could play multiple positions to cover a second position, didn't we? But we never had 2 players.
Yeah.
It's
just, I do agree with the super chat. And as far as the Pep side of things, people, the likes are not quite high enough yet. Please check those likes. Make sure you're smashing them. Takes 1 second. It will help the show out a lot. With the Pep thing, all I'll say is with anyone calling out Pep right now is, were you calling Pep out after his first season, right? Because if you weren't, why are you now? And if you were, and you got put in your place the next season, the season after that, and the season after that, and the season after that, why are you doubting him again? Like, if this time next season we've had another poor season, okay. But after 1 season, you really want to doubt Pep?
There's 2 things I want to say to that. Is the first one, William, the biggest issue you got is being invested in social media. Use it. Yeah. Use Twitter for news and the occasional bit of fun. But when you're seeing these ghouls going on about players this, players that, Pep out, transfers in, just switch them off. Do what I've done, mate. I've got nearly 10,000 people blocked on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then on the Pep out thing, just be careful what you wish for. You look in the last 25 years at the biggest clubs out there. There's not one club that has ever had a successful period where they've dominated. With a player manager like Pep, Wenger, Ferguson, all these managers, then the next one never hits, and it takes years and years and years if you ever get back to that. So for those that want Pep out, then it's going to come one day. I just hope you've got the same energy for the next guy when he comes in, that you want him to be the successful, because what you'll find is they won't. They'll just disappear into the ether, and there'll be some other mutant comes out moaning about manager X out, manager X out.
Do you know, see this one? He fucked off Joe Hart, but can't let go of others. Such a hypocrite. I mean,
the best thing he ever did, that one of the best things he ever did at City. I love Joe Hart. He's a City legend, but for what happened after that, you're telling me the sacrifice Joe Hart was he was made as a sacrifice to get Ederson a year later. Come on, that's just absolutely ridiculous.
And the thing is that if you look at it, right, Joe Hart's even come out and said he gets it now.
It was the right thing to do. It was ruthless. One of the most ruthless things you've seen in football. Right thing to do.
Yeah.
He accepted it. We all accepted it. Fans can't.
If you're going to say he get rid of Joe Hart but can't get rid of others, he's got rid of many players. Joe Hart is not the only player Pep's got rid of, right? And the thing is with it is now we can moan about it, right, after 1 bad season. But over the 9 years, he hasn't had many bad seasons, right? He's had 2 bad seasons, his first and his last, very similar. And by the way, let me also be clear, when I'm saying bad season, finishing 3rd in hindsight, really isn't that fucking bad. It's just...
Why can't he be ruthless again?
It's the same as when people say Pep overthinks things, right? A manager should overthink things. If a manager doesn't overthink things, then he's being paid too much, right? But you only say he overthinks things when he loses games. Now, if you look at the number of games Pep Guardiola loses, I think he's got one of the best ratios in the Premier League ever.
Above 70%, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, right? So again, you only say it when he loses games. You don't say it when he wins games. So you'd be saying it for far more other managers than you would Pep. Yeah. And saying, well, if he's been ruthless before, why can't he be ruthless now? Maybe.
Cancelo gone. Joe Hart gone. There's others. Kevin De Bruyne gone. When he came in, what did he do with Aguero? He put him on a bench and brought Jesus in. He's ruthless when it needs to be done for the benefit of the team.
And this is the thing, when people say, yeah, but just because you think someone is better than Y, that doesn't mean it is that. And again, at this point, I still will trust Pep's talent IQ more than anyone in the comments. Sorry. And including myself, by the way. Like, Pep's talent IQ is far, far better than us. The proof's in the pudding. And again, I'll keep saying this, back in the next season, if we're in a similar position and Pep, hasn't done well this season, I'll hear it. I'll have the conversation, right? But after one bad season that we still finished third in, right? Very fucking reactionary.
It wasn't even a bad season. It was a bad 3 months. The rest of it was fine.
Oh, it's a bad October. It's a bad October.
November, December. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
That was all it is. And people have lost the shit over it because they're babies, basically.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I think that's. I'm sorry. I was just reading this comment. It's not about doubting Pep, but we not need to shy away from the possibility of ending up like Man United, always referring to the Ferguson era, who's Pep's successor. I think this is a really good point. I think this is a really, really good point. We do need to, but this is what I mean. Fergie had off seasons, by the way.
A lot of off seasons.
Yeah. So my whole thing is one off season, and it's still mad that we're calling it an off season, but one non-title winning season, it was an off season. I'm not going to be screaming Pep out. If it's back-to-back, and more importantly, if it's back-to-back off-seasons with no sign of improvements or no sign of changes, I'm here for the conversation. It's just, it is, do you know, sometimes where it's like, if we get Livramento right now, right, say it comes out tomorrow that Livramento's coming City, do you think that the fan base will find something else to moan about the next day?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, that's it.
It'll be something else. It'll be absolutely something else. Just, you know what it'll be? You'll see a preseason friendly where there's a player playing and it's not in their position. You'll be like, oh, he's got to go Pep out. Starting Kovacic, or why is Kusanov not playing? It's just like, mate, social media is giving people with the lowest IQ the ability to get their opinions across and appreciated by other idiots. And then it echo chambers out into other places.
Mate,
you're entitled to your opinion, mate, and I respect that. But when you're an idiot and you're surrounded by other idiots and all the idiots come together, it's not a good, healthy place, man.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen what I posted earlier, this.
I've seen it. It's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah.
And what I wrote, give people a platform to go viral for saying something crazy, right? That is exactly it. It's the sad thing is that saying something wild gets you interactions.
Right. Let me give you a perfect example. We all know, we'll all have seen this Rory Jennings clip on TalkSport talking about how wearing Kits's fancy dress. Someone's rinsed him with 4 clips in the last 2 years where he's wearing a Chelsea kit. And some kids come up to him and said, he asked me about if I could have a kit last week from #United. That is the perfect example of social media idiots in a nutshell. Yeah. Chasing clout.
100%. Do you know what? When I saw that Rory Jennings clip, I thought at the time, and even the way he answers the questions, you can tell, well, you're literally just doing this for clicks. And it's
you know what?
Do you know why I find it really sad, right? Is that he's on TalkSport, right? Which is a damn big platform, right? And TalkSport, it's not YouTube, it's not Twitter, right? TalkSport should be actually a reliable outlet that you go to, right? Yeah. And he's on there, you're thinking, Jesus Christ, this guy's he's the epitome of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, look, as much as we all know Goldberg is a massive helmet for what he is, we all know he's playing a part. Even he wouldn't say stuff like that.
No.
This is another level of helmetry. This is like, that's.
And I can't lie. Like, I don't know. It's sad because ultimately TalkSport is going that way, but
all media is, to be fair. It's all hyperbole and drama. Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, I've got a bit of thing. I saw someone speaking about earlier about the City fans that are twerking for Liverpool. I can't do it. And on my other channel, helmetry. On our other channel, Never a Foul, when anything happens, we have to put, because we cover multi-channels and multi-clubs, right? I can't. Cass has said to me before, do you want to do some? Yeah, here we go. Sorry, you said it. I love him to bits, right? But that's Cass. Cass has said to me, he's a football fan, and this is the truth to it, that Cass watches all football. Cass watches multiple different leagues, right? I don't. I will never claim to be a football fan. Of course, I love the sport of football, but I am a Manchester City fan, right? So I can't do these videos on speaking about the positives of other clubs, because if I was to do it, sooner or later in there, some salty bitter comments would come out from me. I can't. Like, this is the thing with Liverpool. When people say I respect what Liverpool are doing, I'll be honest, I can't. Right? Do I think Liverpool are, showing ambition? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I respect them for it? No, I don't. Right? Because when we've done that, not once have they ever shown us any.
That's where I'm at. I can sit here and say to myself, as a bit of football business, then bring in some good players, fair play to them. David, and on the other side of that, we've done exactly that for the last 15 years, brought in players, and clubs have had to sit and watch us do it. So we have to be able to sit there and accept it as much as once it happens to us, we've got to accept other teams that are capable of that. Yeah. Sitting there with the donuts glazing out, going crazy over it. No, mate. I want them to fail. I want them to fail. I want these players to flop.
And people, this is what we have to remember, right? Liverpool have never, in our era, retained a trophy, whether it be a Premier League, an FA Cup, a League Cup, or a Champions League. Under Klopp, they did not retain a single thing, right? I don't want them to start retaining leagues right now. And Steve was spot on. Steve got asked on Big Six the other night, are Liverpool doing things right this summer? And his response was, I don't know. Because when we have moved like this, no one ever said it was right. We got called cheats. So he goes, if we got called cheats for doing it, why are Liverpool now being told that they're doing it the right way? When we did it, it was the wrong way, right? Yeah. And he goes, but, and that's why I can say exactly like you said, they're doing the right thing. Do I respect it? No. Because when we were doing the right thing, I got told that our owners weren't good owners. I got told by Greish Khan that Liverpool's owners were better than our owners 3 summers ago, right? That make sense.
They can't, can they? People seem to forget that there's receipts for stuff and the way you behave and that, and it's just it's like they've had the mind sort of altered by that Men in Black thing, just a beep and it's gone, and then just all of a sudden exactly. Oh my God, we're doing something in the transfer market. We're doing exactly what we've slagged off this other team are doing for the last 15 years. We're doing it's okay now.
I had months on Never a Foul trying to explain to me why it was okay for Liverpool to be spending all this money, and I said, bro, I hear your reason. I hear your explanation. He goes, no, it's not an explanation. It's a fact. I said, yeah, but what I'm saying is I hear your facts. And it's beautiful that you're being allowed to present your facts. Because when City spent money, I was not allowed to present my facts. It was just, no, you lot are cheating, right? And I go, at the moment, people are saying, yeah, but Liverpool can spend money because they've just won the league. Right. So you imagine how much money Manchester City can spend when they've done domestic treble,
67 leagues and the rest.
All of those, 5 trophies in one season, the amount of money that generates. When you look at the fact that, another prime example is the Puma deal that's just been passed through, right? And it's now making them look at previous deals that got rejected by the Premier League, right? And go, actually, maybe we should have passed that through. And it's like, oh, right, so you'll pass it through now, the season that we've just finished third. Yeah. But when we're top, you don't want to pass them through. Yeah. No. Anyway, let's move on to other news. I'm going to save Trafford for a bit. Jack Grealish seems to be hotting up for Jack Grealish a bit at the moment. I've seen him being linked with Napoli, West Ham, Everton, Tottenham. There's one more. Napoli, West Ham, Everton, Tottenham. I need to look at the thumbnail now. Put it on there. Right. Newcastle United. I've seen Everton seem to be the one that are in the pole position, but can you see, right, firstly, do you see Grealish going on a loan or do you see him being sold?
If it's a team like Everton, it's on loan.
Yeah.
If it's transfer, it's somebody like Newcastle.
Or Spurs, maybe.
Yeah, that's
what about West Ham? What do you think? Because West Ham have just got that Kudus money, ain't they?
But it's where do you see Grealish's talent being able to play? What's his level? I still think he's a Champions League player, or there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
West Ham and Everton, with respect to them clubs, they aren't that.
Tottenham and Newcastle are.
Tottenham aren't this year, but in terms of the last 10 years, then you are. So
no, they are. Tottenham are.
But the standard of their team is going to be really poor.
But they are going to be in the Champions League.
I know,
right?
but I'm thinking like long term, maybe, I don't know. The Newcastle one makes more sense to me.
Well, the only right. So I guess it's right. If I'm Jack Grealish right now, right, I'm thinking because Grealish. Can anyone tell me in the comments, has Grealish ever been to a World Cup?
Wasn't it the last one? Sorry, was, wasn't he?
Did he? No, he got left out the Euros, so maybe he went to the last one.
I'm sure it was the last one.
Right. Yeah, I think he did. Right. This is probably at Grealish's age, so he's 30 now, I believe, or if he's 29, soon to be 30, right? So this is probably his last World Cup that he realistically can make the squad for, right? So if you're looking at that, if you're Jack Grealish, and by the way, I think we would all agree, right? If Jack Grealish gets goes somewhere and starts, right, then Jack Grealish will has a chance of featuring in the England squad. But you also have to look at what position. If I'm Jack, I'm looking at what position realistically could I start for England in, right? And you're probably going to go left.
That's the only place for me left.
However good he has looked for England and City in the 10 role, I'd find it difficult for him to get in that 10 role.
Well, if he went away and let's say he went to Everton and scored 25 goals and got 20 assists as a 10, he ain't getting from the Bellingham. He ain't getting from the Bellingham any day of the week.
More likely, and
yeah,
I think probably the left, because on the left, who's he going to be competing against? Going to be competing against. Some would say Eze. For me, I don't see. I mean,
Foden,
actually,
it's going to be Foden, Eze, Rashford will somehow still be in the mix, despite being the biggest fraud in football for the last 5 years.
Well, another one now is an interesting one is Noni Madueke, because I think he's going to play on the left at Arsenal. So then, if he has a good season at Arsenal, but the main one is Anthony Gordon. So if he goes,
so you're up against it. There's basically there's basically 2 slots in that England team available as for the World Cup.
Yeah,
for about 6 players.
Yeah, and that's the one for me that Gordon's probably for me should be the first name on England's team sheet on the left at this point. But it is going to be interesting because Rashford, where's he going to play for Barca? If he has a good season at Barca on the left, again, like I said, if Noni Madueke did somehow have a good season at Arsenal on the left, he's another one. If Arsenal get Eze and play him on the left, another one. I don't know, Grealish is an interesting one. The other thing is the way the team plays. If he goes to a team that plays transitional football, right, he could really thrive.
That's the other thing is he needs to play. He needs to get the best out of his strengths. You can't go to Everton and they're scrapping around in 13th and win 9 games a season. You know what I mean? He doesn't look good. He needs to be in a team that is flying.
Yeah, I think the other one that's quite interesting as well is Tottenham, because I think Son's staying for one last season, but Son's on the way out, right?
Well, Tottenham wanted him. Tottenham put a bid in for him.
Yeah.
Was it 8 years ago for 30 million? And he said no.
Yeah.
Could have gone to Spurs. Was it? I'm sure it was about 7 years ago. And they said no to 30 million back then. So there's something at Spurs.
But then I saw Governor put earlier, the Governor 66. Everything I've been told is he wants to stay in the same house. Now, that makes Everton probably prime position.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's a grown man. He can fucking move for 6 months. You know what I mean?
I hear it, but from what I've been told, he's trying to knuckle down. I think the worst thing, right, if you're Jack Grealish's missus, Pulpy, are you really wanting Grealish to kind of, rent an apartment by himself in fucking London?
To be fair, if I was, I'd be like, you understand what sort of guy he was when you got him. You know he's a top shagger, don't you? So it's like, what are you gonna do? Keep an eye on him 24 hours a day? You're not, are you? So,
but the other interesting one for me is I've read this morning. Well, I think Everton JMC FC, Everton would be a loan, right? I think there's certain clubs that would be loans. Everton would be a loan, so it's not favourable. That's why I think if Everton, I think it will be late in the transfer window because I don't think City will be looking to loan anyone out apart from the younger lads like Echeverri and Vitor Reis. Sorry, they might loan them out soon, but I think any player that is worth 30 plus million, they're going to try and sell and maybe last minute shift him out. Now, the other one, apparently he was away in Italy in the and even training in Italy during pre-season. And I've seen this morning that apparently Conte really, really wants him. And I think Napoli would buy him. I don't think Napoli would loan him. I think Napoli would be willing to buy him.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think we worked out. What has he got? He's worth 40 million on the balance sheet in terms of transfers.
Yeah.
And probably about 25 million in wages.
Yeah.
So if you can swallow half of that and let him go out for a year, then you can.
And again, JMCFC, I've read this morning that Jack Grealish is willing to drop his wages a little bit for a permanent move. So I hear what you're saying about this, but
the World Cup's probably a massive part of that.
Yeah.
If it's not the World Cup year, you think I'll just have it off and just not. I'll either not play much, or if I'm going out somewhere, it's not my not by choice. You want me, if you want me to go, you pay my wages. Whereas now it's like there's actually something on the line for him. You know what I mean? So as a professional, you're probably willing to say, I'll take a bit of a nit because it's important to me to get the game time and the standard back.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting when because Pep, I guess now they're back in training, he's gonna be seeing what's up. Right, let's talk training. Let's talk Rodri. So we've had 2 days in training so far. We're going into the third day. We haven't seen any pictures of Rodri in training so far.
I'm not worried.
He is injured though, isn't he?
Well, it looks like it. I can't imagine he's off time off work, is he? He's been off for 6 months. He's been off for 9 months, right?
Yeah.
The skeptical part of me thinks, oh my God, is he injured again? Has he reoccurred it, or is he just basically doing stuff in the gym and just chilling out, or maybe having an extra 5 days off and said, look, just recover, come back, and we'll just pick up your progress once everyone's back from a week's worth of training.
I think that might be it. Knowing our club, if he was training, I think the club would have released a pic of him training.
Well, I mean, there's how many pictures? There's loads of pictures out there. Even videos in walking in the background, you would have seen him.
Yeah, I mean,
and someone would have said Rodri's in training. I've heard it from the club. Somebody would have said.
All right, so City Extra put a list out yesterday of players back in training and actually training, as in on the pitch training, and they say Rodri was absent with an injury. City Extra have said that.
It could be anything. It could have. I don't know. He could have an headache. You just don't know. I'm not worried at all. One bit. No. Not one bit.
I don't know. I have a feeling he's going to be injured at the start of the season.
If he is. So be it.
I hear it.
We've lived without him, man. We've got the battle scars. Fans aren't going to like it, but
I know, bro. They hurt.
Yeah.
And so, if Rodri doesn't start, if Rodri isn't fit at the start of the season, who are you starting in that six?
If Rodri isn't fit for the start of the season, get ready. Get ready for a social media meltdown. Oh my word! I'd like to say Nico would start, but my intuition suggests it would be Bernardo Silva, Reinders, and just play with that deep pivot of Bernardo Silva and just never hope we get the ball away ever in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That to me is the solution.
I don't want. Do you know what? That would be. I think the perfect three for me would be probably away game Wolves. Yeah, Nico, Reinders, Bernardo.
My concern is if you play Bernardo and Reinders, who is more likely to be the player that fills that third midfield role. Now, if you want to be like tinfoil hat on, if Rodri is injured for another couple of weeks, maybe a month or 2 months, and there's rumours that Gundogan's not going anywhere, is that because we need?
That's. I'll be livid at that. I'll be honest with you.
Is that's a more feasible possibility? Is
what the
Gundogan starts the season midfield because Rodri's injured?
Because I'll right. Who's our first home game, by the way?
Tottenham.
Is it? Is Tottenham our first home game?
Is it Saturday? It's the Saturday games at Tottenham, isn't it? The week after. Sure it is.
Right. So I don't even know there. But when people are saying who's the creator, I'll be honest. I would go with those three because I think people are downplaying Reinders, by the way. I think people are thinking Reinders is just this engine in the middle, right? I'd play Bernardo, Nico, and Reinders. I think people, in fact, sorry, another one I think is a creator that people are downplaying is Nico Gonzalez. I don't know if you've seen some of Nico Gonzalez's passing, but he's got a mint pass on him. So I would play those three for Wolves away. My preferred would be Nico, Reinders, and
Bernardo.
And Bernardo, yeah.
You just never know. He might play Bernardo. He might play Bernardo, Reinders, and Cherky, May or Foden. You just don't know.
Yeah. But when someone say Bernardo over Cherky, no. Because I'd probably, out of those three, I see Reinders, Bernardo, and Gonzalez. I see those three as all very similar players, right? Reinders has got a better shot on him, and I think of the three, I think Reinders will be the furthest forward in my eyes. But I have a feeling that Pep might play Reinders as the furthest back, and that's what I don't want to see.
I think Bernardo is probably best suited to being that just defensive midfield, not like the six, the quarterback, ticking over play, little short passes, get the ball to the pitch, move it around that, and then you're going to have your engine, which would be a Gonzalez in there, who would be box to box, and the Reinders with me would be somebody that would just find the little pockets and get the ball out his feet and play them little forward passes into the gaps, into the wingers, into the strikers, and then make those runs supporting the striker. I think that's the way that works. I think that means a really good midfield, to be fair.
I see Reinders as a treble season Gundogan.
Yeah.
That's exact. I mean, sitting on the left, kind of giving support to the left winger, left fullback.
Get the ball in the half turn, mate, and making something happen.
Yeah,
that's what I see Reinders. If he's anywhere else on the pitch, you just know he's a solid. He can do everything else perfectly. Just that little bit, them in between the lines things where he can get the ball and pick a sharp pass out or direct quickly into the winger. That's the sort of thing I think he'll be good at. Yeah,
because I see what you're saying. I agree with you. When he was played in this deeper role in the Club World Cup, I didn't like him. I prefer him further forward, Reinders me. And Bernardo, I think Bernardo is great at doing. Do you know what I saw? What Bernardo was doing well last season. What Kovacic does, picking up the ball from deep and running with it, and just moving the ball forward.
Just get the ball deep, and you think, he's got the ball. But them 5-yard little dashes with the ball brings the whole shape of the team in one side of the pitch. It's the little things that he does, which will go unnoticed because of his age and who he is, and everyone's sick of him. But those little triangles around midfield, which they make to create space and allow players, the 4 or 5 little quick passes in the middle like this will shift you to one side of the pitch or the other. But while that's happening, you've got players like Marmoush who are drifting into a spot and Haaland's off the shoulder, and then you've got a winger out wide. And it's like those little passages of play allow these little things to move off the ball. That's really important. And being able to do that rather than just get the ball forward, everyone's rigid. The things are moving in the background whilst that little triangles are happening and space is being found in the middle. And that's where Bernardo and Kovacic are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, spot on. Shout again to William, who's saying Liverpool has more history, allowed to spend more. Yeah, that's a Liverpool's argument. No, but the other one is, of course, but we've done it the right way. Oh, okay, fair enough. And this is the thing. I've heard Liverpool say we did it the right way before. And now when they're spending money, they're still saying we've done it the right way. So it kind of just shows me that ultimately Liverpool just do it the right way and we do it the wrong way. Whatever that means. There's no need for context.
If we'd have done what Liverpool are doing now, and Liverpool have done what we've done, it'd still be opposite. We'd still be the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. People, 164 likes, nearly 300 of you in here. Please, if about 150 of you could have a quick look now, make sure your like button is lit. And again, if you're watching this on Watchback, please make sure you're liking the video also. Right. Just a quick one. The other two that I've seen this morning, Echeverri and Vitor Reis. Apparently, Girona are interested in both of them. I see this one probably happening as well, you know.
I saw Echeverri's linked to Roma. I'd much prefer that.
I've seen Roma as well, yeah.
I'd much prefer a higher standard for Echeverri. Let him sink or swim there and see if he's good enough at a team that's challenging in a league that is probably quite even. I understand the Girona thing, though, with getting some players out there for the City Football Group. So if he was never go to Roma, then I think we'll send him over there and let him play because they've got a good coach and they play similar to us. So home from home, I guess.
I think you're right. And sorry, you are right. I saw Roma, but they have also both.
I've seen the Girona ones too. Yeah, I've seen those too.
I would take Girona for Vitor Reis. I think to go and play in La Liga. Girona aren't great at the moment, but you know, as a defender, there's nothing wrong with playing with a team that aren't as good because defensively, it might make him step up a little bit. Maybe also bulk out a little bit more. I agree with you with Echeverri. I think if Echeverri goes to Roma, he's got a chance to really thrive in a good league, right?
It's what suits him. It's what suits him as a player, though. Yeah. And how I can't particularly confess to understand very well how Roma play.
Yeah, true.
You know, if he's going to Roma and he's playing a solid 4-4-2 and he's playing out on the left wing, and it's no good. It's no good for us if he's playing in that. Whereas he's more valuable in going to a team that plays like a 4-2-3-1 with a more expressive playing style and pressing. That's more valuable if that's a lesser high ranked team. Then I'm happy to have him go somewhere that does actually plays the same sort of system.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I've said about Rico Lewis because I'd be loaned. I mean, I know the homegrown thing we probably won't, but I've been very vocal. I want to see Rico Lewis loaned out to a club that would play him in a midfield role because I want to see him in a midfield role. I mean, maybe if we were to get Livramento, maybe Rico might be considered for a loan out, but we'll never know, I guess. Last one, Trafford. We haven't really spoken on Trafford, so I'll speak on Trafford now. Happy with it?
Yeah, I think it's a mint deal, to be fair. In terms of quality of player, he's in the England squad now. He had a mid-season. He's obviously a very, very good goalkeeper. And he's future England number one. 2-3 years, he'll be the England number one goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Same way Joe Hart was. Just that when you get to that maturity age, 24, 25, you will be England's number one. And to look at the other players that are around him, there's not really that many. Pickford's coming to the end. It looks like a natural successor. So then to get somebody in for the price he paid and has the homegrown capabilities and is from the academy too, and for a really good price. And he's obviously well up for it. What he's talked about, he's up for it. So I trust me, it's probably going to be one of the best bits of business we'll ever do. I think.
Do you know what? I saw your tweet the other day, and I do you know what? I really like. I think are you saying that? His arrogance. Yeah, I mean arrogance, confidence.
Well, most goalkeepers have that.
Yeah, Joe Hart definitely had that as well, didn't he?
Yeah. I think swagger.
Yeah, I think even down to how easy. I mean, when we see videos and pictures of players on their first day in training, right? You often, you can tell it looks like their first day in training. With him, it doesn't.
It isn't, though, isn't it? It's not. It's just had a couple of weeks, so it's like he's been just a couple. It's like he changed skills for a couple of years, and he's gone back. You know what I mean?
I do love the fact that he was that confident that he left. He went out on sale, but still saying, "I still want to go back to City."
Yeah, like that says to me is the exit plan for him was right. James, sit down. This is what's going to happen to you. This is what we think for your career is best. A couple of loans, and then a transfer option come along. Is like you have a chance now to go out and do good things for yourself if box A, B, C, and D are ticked, we'll have you back. So it's up to you now. And he's like, I'll do that. I want to come back. And they said, right, go out and do your thing. They've monitored him, obviously, and everyone knows how good he is. And he's like, James, we're going to hold up our end of the bargain. We trust you. We value you. You're part of the City Academy and the family. Let's bring you home. And he's gone, buzzing. I'm having it.
Do you know the mad thing is, and this is where what you just said is spot on. And it's not just what we think, because naturally as fans, you always go, oh, this is what we think happened. No, there is an interview out there where he said that when I left City, we agreed that although I thought I would one day be Manchester City's goalkeeper, I had to go out and get the experience elsewhere, but I want to go back.
And he's had all that experience, though. He's been in a team that's been relegated. You know, he's been in a team that's pushing for promotion. He's been in a team that's had one of the best defensive records you've seen in English football for the last 20 years. Yeah. So he's done it all, and he's only 22.
Yeah. It is, for me, and the other thing, I'll keep saying this, is how damn good he is with the ball at his feet.
The penalties thing, man, is a massive thing for me.
Penalties is. Do you know what? Yes, sorry, the penalties thing is huge. So I've while I'm out here, my mum's got some friends out here, and their son and daughter over here. Son's round about my age, and he's a massive. They're from Swansea. He's a massive Swansea fan, as in home and away. And he said to me about Trafford. He said, mate, I guarantee you, I watched the Championship a lot more than you. Right? He said the guy's a menace. He said from the penalties. He said with the ball at his feet, and he said this to me. He said, obviously, you watch Ederson more than me, but he said he looks as comfortable as Ederson does. Yeah. And that's what I think is massive. But I do think he's a better shot stopper than Eddie as well.
He's 6'5" as well, Trafford.
Yeah. Apparently, he's bigger than Donnarumma. So he comes out and he claims the ball. I think that's something that we need a bit more on corners as well.
Sometimes. I just think everything's right about it, man. And people aren't going to want to hear this. And the amount of shit our academies took for selling players and putting buyback clauses and never activating and this, that, and the other. This is why we do it, man. You get these young players, and they're not good enough for us at the time.
Yeah.
And you send them out, and then if they're good enough, you bring them back. If they are good enough, and Trafford is good enough for that.
Yeah. So I do agree with this, Andy, by the way. He does do a few saves for the cameras. That seems to be I don't mind that. Listen, Ramsdale does that. Maybe it's a young England thing. But, do you know what? You're spot on with the buyback clause thing, because when what's his name? Lavia went to Chelsea, right? A lot of City fans were saying, why didn't we trigger that buyback clause? Now, the truth is with Lavia is when we bought Lavia, we were to the academy, we were aware of his injuries, right? We were aware of things. Vincent Kompany said he's that good, he's worth a chance on, right? He's that good that take the risk, right? His last season at City, Lavia had quite a few injuries, right? That's why when we saw Cole Palmer starting to feature, that season, Lavia was supposed to start featuring for us, but he didn't because he was injured. He went to Southampton, and lo and behold, last season, in fact, he's been at Chelsea for 2 seasons now, right? Yeah. Look at how many games he's played.
Not many.
That's why we didn't trigger the release clause, because City knew he's still not getting over his injuries. They're still niggling. So I think this one is the perfect example of you put it in there, and if they prove they're good enough, you trigger it. You don't just trigger it just because, just because
to keep the social media fans happy.
Yeah.
It's business and it works.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think it's great. Absolutely. And the best thing about it is the amount of money that we've actually paid for him is, even if it didn't work out at his age and with him being English, we're going to sell him, make money on him again.
If he's number one next season or the season after and it don't work out, you sell him for 60 million quid.
Yeah.
Pure English tax. And he's 25 years old and someone will have him.
Yeah. That's the thing.
If he stays at us now,
he's going to be.
If he stays at us for 10 years, then we've got a homegrown player, we've got an English goalkeeper, and we've got somebody who costs us absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So moving on from that. Sorry, firstly, just quickly, apparently Everton have distanced themselves from Jack Grealish. I think what I would say that will be is I'm going to see that as a good sign, because with all the other links, I think we're going to sell Jack Grealish. I don't think we're going to loan him. I'll have a feeling that'll be because Everton only want to loan him, and that we're going to end up selling him. That's what and I could be wrong. This is not me knowing anything, but I see that as a sign that maybe someone comes in for him.
We all know he's not going to stay at City anymore. He knows that. The club knows that. Why would you loan him out in the first, before the season even started, to then have to deal with him in a year's time when you come back?
Yeah.
You'll loan him out at the end of the season when you can't get rid of him full time. You know, that's the. So they probably distance themselves, knowing that City don't want to loan him out until the very, very last part of the window unless they can sell him. So that makes sense.
I'll tell you the only other thing, right? If we don't sell or loan him, could there be a world where he's turned back, got back to training, he's fully fit, he's ready to go, and Pep's watched him in training and thought, fucking hell, Jack looks different.
Well, he did it last year. If he starts off like he did last preseason this year, then there's every chance. But I can't imagine there's a world where any of us live in that anyone would accept that.
I'm just saying, I don't think so. But you know, stranger things have happened.
Stranger things happen. Is there redemption available opportunities? Of course, there is.
Yeah,
I think it's time to move on.
No. The other thing is, Pep's a weird guy. We all know this. Pep could actually see Jack round the team and think, do you know what? I need him here for team spirit, right? And this is the thing. I'm not saying that's right, by the way, but Pep's a weird guy that Pep could actually think that. Right. So back to Trafford quickly. Are you starting in first game or are you starting Eddie?
You know, it reminds me of that Shea Given Joe Hart thing where we had them two really good goalkeepers and it's who starts the first day. I think it's Ederson still. However, it's up for grabs, man.
Yeah.
Trafford's going to come in and going to put him under some serious pressure like he's never had before. Because as good as Ortega was, I don't think he was ever number one material.
No.
I think Trafford's going to come in there now horny to get that number one spot. He's took the number one shirt. There, that's big balls as it is right there. I mean, number one's available.
Yeah,
straight in. So, look, it's gonna bring the best out of Ederson, hopefully, because if he knows if he's not on it, then he's out the team, and he's probably never going to get back in.
Yeah, I think that's where it's so good at this point, because you know the fact that Eddie hasn't signed a new contract yet. Someone said that the contract is still on the table. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think if Trafford is putting on a performance in training, and even if he doesn't get the start, so I personally think Eddie will start the first game of the season. I think we might see Trafford in the friendly against Palermo, right? But I think Eddie will start the season. But I think you're spot on with the thing. If Eddie, for whatever reason, gets an injury or a knock and Trafford steps in, that might be it for Eddie. That Trafford then holds on to it.
In previous times,
if
Ederson's been injured or has been suspended, Ortega or / other goalkeeper come in, and he might have played 2, 3, 4 games, but it was always just a matter of time before Ederson came back in. I don't think that's available now. No. I think it's once Trafford's in there, you're going to do very well, or else you have to move him on merit rather than ability.
Yeah, agreed. Someone's just mentioned Calvin Phillips. From what I saw recently, I saw something the other day that City might be willing to let Calvin go on a free. I think the hardest thing there is Calvin's wage, and I think that's going to be the difficult thing. We'll know on Calvin probably end of the transfer window.
I think that'll be done quick. I think he'll be one of the first ones that I've done and out.
Yeah.
I think that'll be probably a real sort of like cut price raffle sort of thing. Get him gone. He needs to. It's just not worked out, and you have to move on with that. And it happens. It won't happen again.
Just the wage he's on, because he's going to have to take such a sizable wage.
City will swallow that.
Yeah. No, maybe we might have to.
Yeah.
Just for people asking what the Livramento news thing is, Livramento, apparently, from what I've been told, it's the same person that wrote to me about James Trafford 2 weeks ago, has told me this morning that apparently Livramento has asked for a meeting with Eddie Howe. He's not very happy with the whole Isak thing, and apparently his head has been turned by City. Now, that doesn't mean Newcastle will sell him, by the way, but apparently he is demanding a meeting with Eddie Howe to kind of discuss his future. So we will see. Right, people, 10 likes away from 200. I'm sure you can get it up to that. We're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to say the same thing as I always say. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm not doing no more shows today. I've got 4 hours left, and I'm going in the pool with my daughter for most of it. And I've got a pack as well. Anything you need to say, Pulpy?
Just don't believe everything you read on social media. Honestly, just chill. Let it happen. Let it happen. Don't overreact. Don't be that guy.
And also, be kind. Yeah. Don't abuse people. Right. Don't abuse people. We're gonna leave it there. Get those likes up to 200, and we will be back tomorrow morning at 10:30 with the Mancunian Way Goes South with Alan, Martin, hopefully Nick, and hopefully Pat. Until then, I'm going to leave you with this comedy genius.
Bit of sad news for you, though. I've lost my dog recently.
Aww.
Thanks for the sympathy. I went out looking for him. I couldn't find him anywhere. My dad said to me, "You need to get back out there and you need to look harder." So I went out, got myself a couple of tattoos and a Stone Island jacket.